I'm Marthel Neville, and you're in the strategy room. It is an all-out slugfest in South Carolina. Republican rivals taking off the gloves, and at the center of the fight is Donald Trump. Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, and Marco Rubio all taking swings at the businessman, but Trump is fighting back. Take a look.
I'm not sure a lot of voters are excited about having a president who, when he gets rattled, when he gets upset, begins cursing and yelling vulgarities at people.
Donald Trump has zero foreign policy experience. Negotiating a hotel deal in another country is not foreign policy experience. Jeb Bush has no foreign policy experience, period.
You have people running like a Jeb Bush. He's bringing his brother in now. He tried the mother, who's a very nice lady, I'm sure, but he tried the mother. That didn't work out so good. Now he's bringing in his brother.
We need a president that knows what he's doing, not talking cheap talk. If we nominate Donald Trump, we're going to be destroyed in the general election. But if he won, it would be a disaster as well.
Okay, joining me to talk about all of this with the reaction or political strategist Douglas Smith and Adam Goodman. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Adam, I'm going to start with you. Are these attacks going to get worse as we get closer to the primary on Feb 20?
Well, I'm all into the idea that political campaigns are about a competition of ideas. Now we're seeing as well a competition of personalities, which is why we have already witnessed record turnout at the Iowa caucuses, a record vote in New Hampshire. I think we're going to continue to break records across the country. People are really tuned into this. But what is really going on in South Carolina, at least right now, is a fight between Trump and Cruz, which is essentially a fight between ideology and a condemnation of the system as is, the status quo. And I don't know who wins that, because traditionally in a state that has a huge evangelical population where Cruz, in terms of ideology, should do very, very well, and Marco probably to some extent as well. I think Trump is giving them fits because he's playing outside the lines in a way that doesn't have precedent, and that could lead to a very interesting result. But one thing that happened just in the last 24 hours is that Donald Trump has signaled a bit of a change in strategy. At least in his ad strategies, as he's decided to go positive.
Yeah, taking a note from John Kasich.
Right. I'm not sure how that plays, and I'm not sure if that was the most important news of the day, or the fact that we just learned, Arthel, that Donald Trump once dated Candace Bergen and was dressed in burgundy boots, in a burgundy suit, driving in a burgundy limousine, which at least she complimented him on by saying he's well coordinated.
Okay. Douglas, so it seems like everybody is ganging up on Donald Trump, but, you know, he still has a healthy lead in the state. You just heard Adam say that he's not necessarily a more traditional candidate when it comes to South Carolina. So do you think these attacks will have any effect on Trump?
I think they'll have some. I mean, what I think actually the two big winners out of South Carolina I would predict are John Kasich and Hillary Clinton. I think John Kasich, because I think a lot of mainstream Republican voters are looking out there and thinking, what is going on? I mean, between the outrageous ads that Cruz is running, the lack of experience of Rubio, the insane things that Donald Trump says, Governor Kasich is seeming more and more reasonable. So I think what we're going to see is that they're going to have to start to tack back and actually talk about some issues. It's real easy to put some of these crazy ads on and bash one another, but they're going to begin to be held to the fire as to what their positions actually are. As more and more Republicans drop out, more and more focus will come on to what exactly are your positions? How will you solve Syria? You know, I don't think Senator Cruz, in particular Senator Rubio, none of them have any foreign policy experience. And so it's going to come down to how do they think about things? What's their thought process? And if the thought process is to say vulgarities and say outrageous, crazy things, all of a sudden they're going to start to look at who is the candidate out there that maybe has something reasonable to say. So I think South Carolina is going to be a dirty, dirty affair, with possibly the only winner being John Kasich and Secretary Clinton.
Okay, and you know, Adam, I'll go with you there. You just heard Douglas talk about Senator Rubio, who is especially showing a more aggressive side. So is that a good strategy, just listening, saying that, you know, the issues on the table, that just being bombastic is not going to be enough, that you're going to have to get specific. So how should Rubio proceed?
I think Rubio is doing what the other Republican candidates, for the most part, are all doing. They're trying to measure up in an election that's looking for strength and conviction in the next leader of the free world. And I think on that front, Marco's done very well. Jeb, you see, I think has had a comeback. He's starting to find his voice, and certainly Trump and Cruz have never been shy. I totally disagree with the analysis, Douglas, that Kasich is some kind of big winner. He will be in last place in this South Carolina primary. He then heads into, unfortunately for him, a slew of southern primaries where he's not going to fare well. He's trying to find some way to survive maybe to March 15th in some of the contests in the Midwest. But I think that the competition of ideas, I think people slugging it out is important, and if the American people didn't like it, you wouldn't be seeing the record levels of tune-in on all the debates, on the turnout, obviously in the caucus and the primary we've seen to date. I think this is good for the democracy. I really do, on both sides. Not to be partisan, Douglas. I know you like to play that card. It's really good for both sides that we have a spirited debate. I thought Hillary and Sanders last night did the same. They did their part. It's important to know to have this, to understand where we're all going to be heading as a country.
Douglas, you're not always partisan, are you?
Oh, not at all. All I would say is, like, I've never liked reality TV, and this is some really bad reality TV.
Guys, I have to go. Got to leave it there. Douglas, Adam, thanks to both of you for being here, and want to let everybody know, absolutely, that you can check out foxnews.com for more on the 2016 presidential race. I'm Arthel Neville. Thanks for watching.